Okay, everybody, this is my 48 hours with a Tesla review. So here's my key takeaways. Let's start with the positives, because always start with the positives. It's got some get up and go. It's like a rocket ship. I like that. It's comfortable. The seats are comfortable. There's ample leg room. You know, those things, we're renting it, so it does what it needs to do. The mileage, like from 80% charge, we got to go a bunch of places. The equation is I spent $170 to rent this Tesla. It'll probably cost me $20 to charge it before I return it back to the rental company, bring it back to 80%. I've driven 350 kilometers. It almost works that if you're doing a trip for 1,000 kilometers or more, you know, in our minivan, which is $100 per tank of gas, you can do a 1,000 kilometer trip in 48 hours and the Tesla pays for itself. So that's a bonus. Consider that. Okay, hot takeaways. One of the things that drives me nuts, it's got the blind spot detection camera. It's in the wrong spot. So I'm shoulder checking when the camera comes on. Bad design. This screen, way too complicated. I just need a switch for my wipers. I just need a lock button to lock the kids out of the windows. To turn the wipers on, I gotta go through 3 menus. Hate that. Too complicated. Simplify it.
Why did we rent it?
We rented it for prom as a prop so that our daughter who's graduating could have, you know, fancy car, cool pictures. It accomplished the goals.
But the kids?
The kids love it. How did you stop it?
I don't know.
Okay, the booster seats in the back, they fit. Our Suzuki Kizashi 2011, they don't fit. It's just the molded seats, they don't fit very well. So, bonus on that. Tons of trunk space. All the things that they say that are good are good. Another downside, I get in, I hit this panel, the panel pops off. Like,
Be a rental.
once again, one of the feedback about Teslas was, you know, the fit and finish isn't great. Point in case. Tesla is a technology company first, and that shows when you're driving this vehicle. The screen, the user interface, the electronics, it all screams technology.
It's pretty fun to drive too.
And it's fun to drive. It's easy to drive, it's comfortable, but the little things, blind spots. I pull up to a stop sign and I can't see past the pillar on either side.
Open the door.
The door handles.
Like...
The door handles. Yeah, it's cool. You press your thumb in to pop the door handle out. But I'm right-handed, so I'm using my left hand to get into the driver's side, and it's just so awkward to
The windows go down a bit when you open it. When you press the button, the windows pop.
That's normal though.
No.
That's on other luxury vehicles.
No.
So there's all the things that other manufacturers figured out that Tesla, it shows they just tried to innovate things that didn't need to be innovated.
Okay, so
the screen is a distraction.
I didn't know where to put the key, but that's just me.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing.
Couldn't start the car.
Just give me a key fob. I want to be able to pop the trunk while I'm carrying a kid coming up to it. I don't want to have to go to the window and unlock the car.
Maybe newer
for rental cars, Elon, here's the deal. If you're going to sell cars to rental companies, you need to include some kind of rental card mode in your firmware so it doesn't remember the last 20 people's iPhones, or it doesn't, you know, take pictures inside the vehicle and Sentry mode and all those things. I don't want to see other people's dash cam stuff. So you need some kind of a privacy code or privacy wipe feature for rental car companies. Not that big of a firmware switch. Throw it in. Anyways, all in all, would I buy one? She would, I wouldn't. Oh yeah, and cup holders.
Electric.
Let me tell you, after driving a Dodge minivan, those things are built for families. They've got cup holders everywhere. You want to bring your 20-gallon water jug, your super big Stanley? It fits in the Dodge Caravan, not in the Tesla.
What we currently have.
Like, look, she's got I got my water bottle, my coffee. She's got her kombucha. She's got her water bottle, the kid's water bottle, her coffee over there. Like, where do you put anything? Like,
I don't know.
it's all right. Great for California, you know.
What about the driving on command? Or we're talking about those two different things.
What different things?
Well, you had Rainbow Road, and then you also had the other option. What is it called?
Oh, that's the other thing. The cruise control. Boeing got into trouble for this, right? The Boeing Max 737 Max, I think it was. They got into trouble because they put a new piece of software to control the pitch of the plane, and it was overcomplicated. You had to like understand the plane and all these different features. That's how I feel with the Tesla, is all these things that are supposed to be safe also can be a deterrent, because if you don't understand how the vehicle operates, and there's a huge learning curve, it gets dangerous.
Yeah,
like,
talk about how I went to
like the cruise control. It's a 90 kilometer speed limit, but somehow Tesla decided 117 kilometers max. And I think that's because it learns the habits of previous rental car owners. Well, once again, a rental company mode to lock things out, kind of like a kiosk mode on a computer, would make sense. Think about it. Other than, and even in a rental car company, it wouldn't be that hard to throw a rental car so that you get in and it says very, very straightforward. Okay, step 1, swipe the key thing here. Step 2, this is how you turn it on and off. It does that a little bit if you fumble with the instrumentation.
If you don't read it.
Like if you fumble with the instrumentation, it's there, but it's not super clear. It's not big and bright and simple.
Well, this is the key. Like, okay, that's the center, but I didn't see the, I just saw a big hole in here, so I didn't think, or in there, so I didn't think to put it up back here to start it. So
it's not.
I was putting it up here. I was pressing it over here. I put it there, and I'm like, I don't know how. So I had to call the husband to start the prom vehicle.
Yeah, the user interface, it's not as intuitive as you would think. Like, there's the wheels on the steering wheel. Okay, well, what are they for? They do stuff, but you've got to figure out what they do. The big thing is, okay, so right now the wipers set to auto. They don't work. They were coming on when it was dry, and now it started raining and they weren't coming on. So I've got to go through 3 different menu settings to turn them on. While I'm driving. That's a distraction. This whole user interface makes sense if the vehicle is full self-driving, because then I'm not watching the road. But in a scenario where I don't have a co-pilot, I shouldn't have to pull over, navigate through the menu to turn on my wipers. So
nice if it popped up on this, like, say we're going past. So earlier.
Yeah. The hot take is the Tesla is the Palm Pilot. The iPhone and Android are coming. Same thing.
Nice
BlackBerry.
Popped up.
BlackBerry, we learned a lot from them. Their technology still kicks around, but lots changed. So we'll see what happens with Tesla. They've got a lot to sort out, and they really need to come out with a Model 4. They need to take all this user interface stuff, take all the feedback from reviewers and videos like this, and they need to find a happy medium between.
But we haven't tried any newer versions, so there could be a little flaws kicked out.
This is new.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, this is a 2023.
So. Oh, really?
This is the 2023. It's not the.
It's not a family car, but we haven't tried the bigger one. I don't know. I haven't driven any other EVs or whatever you call them.
Well,
electric.
The other thing
I've
is,
been in them.
This vehicle in Canada starts at $66,000. $66,000 gets you a lot of vehicle. You can get a Cadillac EV with the same features, and you start getting into things like in rear entertainment systems. This doesn't have that, right? So you got kids in the back; they're a little bored.
Yeah, that was crazy.
There's no charging ports in the back for iPhones and stuff like that. It's not. the rear
Oh, and
passengers.
if you have a pocket socket or whatever, you can't charge your phone, which that
Yeah,
sucks,
there's
but
nowhere
that's
to
fine.
there's nowhere to plug in a USB port for an extra accessory. These are things that the average person needs.
Oh, that's true.
Like there are a lot of things that we take for granted in cars that have come from the big three and now the big five. GM,
Okay, Tim.
Ford, Dodge, Honda, and Toyota. They've done a lot of the legwork on this is what's expected in a vehicle. So you get a base model vehicle and it still has, it's bare bones, but you can still function you can function the windshield wipers without having to learn a new system. You know how to turn the key on and start the car without having to learn a new system, without having to have someone walk you through the steps. That needs work. Anyways, that's my hot take. It was supposed to be a 5-minute video and we're at like 14 minutes.
No, that's perfect.
So-
Keep going.
Okay, cool. Have fun.
Anything else? Yeah, you didn't talk about rainbow mode.
Full self-drive. No, well, it's not full self-driving. It's got auto, beta, whatever. We call it rainbow mode because that's how it's been programmed. So it works. It keeps you on the road, but there's some things that I'm like,
Yeah, you're waiting for.
I wouldn't pick that line. Going around a corner, yeah, I pick the inside.
No, you do.
I pick the inside. The Tesla likes to pick the outside. So that means that I feel like I'm really close to the barrier.
And then it went from 90 to 60, right? And then you're like
Yeah.
waiting for it to.
It didn't decelerate. Like we went from a speed change and the speed dropped dropped 30
And then
kilometers an
yesterday
hour.
there was a red light, right? And I'm like, are you stopping? Okay, slow down.
Yeah.
Oh, and we didn't talk about the start stop. Like you take your foot off the gas, and then it like stops right away.
The regenerative braking mode, where you pull your foot off the gas pedal and it brakes. A lot of people aren't sure how they feel about that. We drove this on a road that's kind of windy that I used to drive my Standard in, and all of a sudden it clicked. Hey, it's like downshifting. So if you think it from instead of having a clutch and downshifting, it's actually really intuitive because I pull my foot off the gas and it downshifts when you're driving around, kind of like in a sportier mode.
But if you're in town and you've got people behind you, I think it feels like you're gonna choke.
It feels like you're slamming on the brakes.
It feels like you're punching out of gear and your car's gonna stall, and that scares me if someone's right behind you.
Yeah.
But I had to get used to slowing down. But you have to use the gas instead of the brake. You don't coast to slow down, which probably a bad habit. In town, driving around, that's what I use.
Yeah. So when
coaster.
Tesla came on the market, Tesla was it. It was it. They set the standard for EVs. Now you've got Ford making theirs. You've got Kia. Kia's become the real leader. Hyundai and Kia.
Right in front of us? That one?
Kia would be a great example. They've got the Kia Soul. It was launched as a standard ICE vehicle, and now it's been that vehicle is offered as a EV. You get in and you can't tell the difference. So I get that Tesla was trying to be different when they launched this vehicle, and they wanted it to stand out in the marketplace, and it's done that. The problem is there's too many things in the driver experience that we take for granted that Tesla overlooked. And that's my opinion. We don't need, and this is something that the common people keep on saying, we don't need some fancy EV. We need a regular functioning vehicle that's electric. Just take the top selling vehicle, like the Ford pickup truck, and make it an EV, which is what the Ford Lightning has done. Tesla's forcing companies to do that. I don't need some brand new platform
Well, I do.
and I understand there's an engineering concerns that you have to basically re-engineer the vehicle from the ground up. I get all that, but you can take the dash, you can take the steering wheel, you can take the user interface, you can take all the things that everybody loves and everybody's familiar with, and go. I don't have to think about how to operate a Ford when I get into a Ford. I don't have to think about how to operate a Chevy or a Honda. I go from a Ford.
You said that.
Yeah, I go from a Ford to a Honda to a Chevy to a Dodge, and it works.
This one, you put your, what is it, 0 to a 60 or 0 to, it was crazy.
Yes.
How fast it goes. It feels fun. It's cool.
Anyways, that's enough. This is 20 minutes, so probably about 20 minutes of a 1,000th YouTube video reviewing the Tesla. So I think you get the idea. Anyways, have fun, and in the words of Hal Johnson, Joanne McLeod, keep fit and have fun.